I am a big fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I've been a big fan for as long as I can remember, but I've been going to games for the past 5 years now. About 5 years. I started going to games in late 2020 with my first game actually being in Dallas. I'm from Pennsylvania, so obviously I gotta fly and whatnot. But I've gone to a total of 8 games, and my record of going to those games is 6 wins and 2 losses. So I've seen a lot of wins, and some of them got down to the wire, I'll explain. But these are the 8 Dallas games that I've been to that I'm going to be ranking them from best to worst. So we're going to start with the worst and work our way up. So coming out at number 8, which should be no surprise, is the Cowboys at Eagles game on November 5th, 2023. This is when the Eagles were coming back from that Super Bowl loss against the Chiefs. They were having a really good start, and then they had that late season collapse. We ended up losing 23-28 that game. The fans, Eagles fans, especially if you're playing against the Cowboys, they are obnoxious and rude and annoying. I almost got my dad into a fight that game. So the first drive of the game, I believe the Eagles did score. And the Eagles fans, we were surrounded by Eagles fans. I don't think there was any Dallas fans in our area. They started giving us high fives. So I thought it would be a funny idea the next drive that we scored a touchdown. I tried to give the one Eagles fan a high five, and he was like, dude, I'm going to fuck you up. Don't touch me. And then him and my dad went back and forth. And yeah, I definitely learned a lesson that day. Don't interact with Eagles fans because they're either drunk or angry. So, try not to get into an altercation. Lincoln Financial Field is a really nice stadium. I'll give them that. I don't want to be a full-on hater. I mean, I don't like the Eagles. But their stadium's pretty modern, pretty nice. So, but AT&T Stadium better, obviously. But, the Link's all right. And I'm kind of Sports Complex is cool too, but AT&T better. So, yeah, we ended up losing that game, and, yeah, that was my second and only loss that I've seen up until now, and that's number 8. Coming in at number 7, which should probably be a surprise to all of you, my first ever game, the Steelers at Cowboys. This was my first ever game back November 8th, 2020. I don't really remember much of this game. That's why it's ranked super low. I do remember staying at the Texas Live. I think that's what it's called, the Texas Live Hotel, right across from AT&T Stadium. So when I woke up, opened the blinds, I could see AT&T Stadium, and it's honestly beautiful. I love AT&T Stadium a lot, and whenever I get a chance to go, I'll go. We ended up losing 19-24 this game. We were playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which were doing really good, I believe, that year. Then they had, some sort of fluke in the playoffs. I'm not exactly sure. I don't really remember much of that game except for when we almost came back. We almost had a last-second comeback, and then we fell short and lost. Definitely not a good experience for my first game, especially since there was, literally nobody in that stadium. This is when, COVID was a thing. Well, it still is, but, when it was an impact. So there wasn't a lot of fans. It was very spatial. But yeah, I mean, I knew I was going to go back, so this definitely wasn't the best first time. But I'm not trying to take it for granted. I'm even grateful to even get to that point and go there. But yeah, the Steelers at Cowboys, we lost. That was my first ever game, and I do not remember much of it. So yeah. Coming up at number 6 is actually the second game I've ever been to, which was the Cowboys at the Washington football team, which is what they were called at the time. This was on December 12th, 2021, and this was actually my first ever time seeing the Cowboys win. We won 27-20. I believe, again, this is ranked low because I don't remember. I do have video footage, thankfully, but I believe we were about to lose. I'm not sure, but I know we ended up winning. Now, this was my first time going to what was called FedEx Field at the time. The fans, they were amazing. No problems with them as far as I can remember. But, yeah, I mean, there's nothing much to say about this game in particular. I remember seeing this dude's hoodie. I never got a picture of it, but it said "Keep Calm and Hate Dallas." I thought it was pretty funny, You go out of your way to buy some dumb hoodie. We own the NFC East, obviously. But Yeah, I don't, nothing much to say about this game, but I'm at number 6 now, so the top 5 get more interesting, and that's what I'll remember. All right, now we're in the top 5. Number 5 is the Cowboys at Giants, September 26th, 2022. This was my first time ever going to MetLife, and we won 23-16. So I vividly remember we parked they have the American Dream Mall right across the street from MetLife, and I remember you had to walk through a tunnel with a specific area, and it smelled like straight dope, and it was crazy. Like I had to cover my nose. That's how strong and bad it was. But I remember it was kind of like a low-scoring game in the beginning. I believe the fourth quarter it got super serious. I remember the game ended on a Trayvon Diggs interception. I love Trayvon Diggs. He was amazing in 2021. He still kind of dominates. We haven't seen much of him lately, though, but it's all good. But we ended up winning, which is good. You know, it's always a good thing to see the Dallas Cowboys win, but we never win in the playoffs when it matters the most. But anyways, it was a good game. 23-16 isn't bad. I mean, it was low scoring, which is okay, but we ended up winning. So yeah, that's number 5. Coming up at number 4, we have the Texans at Cowboys. This game was played on December 11th, 2022. This is my second time ever going to AT&T Stadium and my second time ever seeing Dak Prescott start a Dallas game. Honestly, this was a lot better than the first Dallas game I've ever been to. We ended up winning 27-23. Not much to say about the game itself. You know, we had a fourth quarter comeback. The fans were a lot louder. Everyone was allowed in during that time. But I do remember getting a tour at AT&T Stadium the next day. We weren't allowed to go on the field because of a high school team that was playing, so no one was allowed on the field but the players and the refs, you know, all that stuff. But other than that, pretty fun experience. Not much to say about this game, really, but, you know, the comeback was pretty cool. So now we're heading into the top 3. These I've really had some hard time deciding, but I think this is a pretty valid pick. So, yeah, we're going to get into the top 3. Coming up at number 3 was the Lions at Cowboys. This was on December 30th, 2023. And the reason why I wanted to go to this game is because Jimmy Johnson was inaugurated into the Cowboys Hall of Fame. Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson finally squashed the beef, but it didn't end up breaking our playoff curse, which unfortunately it's still here. And I'm pretty sure everyone's happy about that. But we ended up winning at a astounding 20-19 win. It was an absolute nail biter. I was shaking after that game. It was a controversial, I think, ineligible receiver call. One thing that I liked about that game is the Dak Prescott bomb to CeeDee Lamb. That was great, and I got that one on camera. I'm glad I did. I have weird luck with getting every touchdown on camera, I might have. I don't remember exactly if I got in every game, every touchdown, but okay, no, that's a lie. Now I remember, but we'll get to that soon. But we won 20-19, the Dak to CeeDee bomb. It was great, and that was a really good game, and that's the recent AT&T Stadium game I've been to. That was in 2023, so I'm hoping to make a comeback there this year. I have a couple games I want to go to in mind, which I'll talk about at the end. But yeah, that's number 3. Coming up at number 2 is the Cowboys at Giants, September 10th, 2023. This was the season opener for the Cowboys and Giants. We ended up whooping the Giants 40-0. And you're probably wondering why this isn't at number 1, but I'll get to that in the next ranking. I remember watching ESPN, or it was whatever sports channel was broadcasting this game, and they were saying how the Giants were going to upset the Cowboys. We absolutely demolished the Giants 40-0. We blocked the field goal attempt, couple pick sixes, fumbles. You know, it was everything that. It was just an amazing game. Words can't describe how amazing that game was. Giants fans, they're cool. It was actually downpouring in the beginning of that game, and I remember we got ponchos for like $15. Like, come on, really? Like, give them out for free. Like, but it's okay, you know. Great experience. My dad and I went to American Dream Mall earlier that day. It was a great experience. One of my favorite Dallas Cowboys games ever. And it's definitely a classic. I know the Giants aren't the best team. This is when they had Saquon still, before he got traded to the Eagles. But yeah, it was an amazing game. I loved it, 40-0, and this is number 1 coming up. Now, coming up at number 1, the most recent game that I've been to date, the Cowboys at the Commanders on November 24th, 2024. Now, I brought my whole family to this game. We ended up winning 34-26. I got the Kevontae Turpin returning it on camera. We ended up leaving right after that. I didn't get to see Jaden Daniels to Terry McLaurin touchdown. We didn't get to see the miss on the extra point. So, yeah, we missed out on that. But I do remember a Commanders fan just absolutely crying over it. He was like, "We choke every time." I don't know. He was saying stuff like that. But the reason why I think this game is like my favorite right now is because I came into this game with no good expectations for Dallas. Dallas had a really bad record. I actually bought a bag and put eye holes in it and wrote stuff with an angry face. I have a picture of that. I came in with no good expectations. But then we ended up winning. So, yeah, I was like, wow, okay, so this mask really never meant anything. And then a Commanders fan that was sitting in front of us when Kevontae Turpin ran back for the touchdown, he ended up taking my mask and wearing it. I got a video of that and picture. It was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. A couple people got pictures of me with the mask on. It was fun. So, yeah. Don't know what else to say about that game. It was just a fun experience. I had the family. Getting into Northwest Stadium, I think it's what it's called now. It's a hassle. We actually ended up missing kickoff because we couldn't find a parking spot, but it's okay. We're taking the Metro the next time I go there. But yeah, that's number 1, and maybe I'll update this list later. Maybe when I go to more games, I'll have some reconsideration, but that's number 1. So yeah, that's my list. As far as going to games this upcoming season, we just got Brian Schottenheimer as a coach, so we'll see how good we are. I honestly don't know what to say leading into this upcoming season. The draft hasn't even started yet. But I'm going to be trying to go to the game in Carolina, and I'm going to be trying to take my friend who's a Chiefs fan to his first ever NFL game in Dallas against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm hoping we can do that. Tickets are probably going to be expensive, but obviously, if I go, I'll vlog it, and yeah. But as far as that's the whole video. I'll probably update the list if I go to those 2 games. I'll probably update the list afterwards. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, see you guys later.